Well, we are live. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Tucker and the Beard here. Our first time at Prescott E-News.
Yeah.
So we're super excited to start this venture.
Yeah. Really super excited to be joining with Prescott E-News and get this ball rolling.
Yeah. So you can also you'll find some little snippets of us each week on the Prescott Night Out podcast as well. We're talking about just the new films that are coming out each week and maybe some local entertainment events with our good friend San Martin. But today we're here to talk about a movie that we watched over the weekend.
Well, and to introduce, in case there's any confusion, I am Tucker.
I am the Beard.
Yes. So in case there's any confusion.
Or maybe in case you're just listening.
Yes.
And you can't hear my beard and my voice, then, now you know.
Then
if you didn't know.
That raspily as it's going through the hairs on your face.
Exactly.
Nice.
So we did a very special episode. This is not our first ever episode, but it's the first one we're doing here with Prescott E-News, and we're super excited to be partnering with them. But we did something a little different this week, and we went on a little double date with our wives. You might have seen the promo picture that came out over the weekend.
Yeah, and it was kind of fun because going back in my memory, I could not think of a time or the last time I had been on a double date, which was kind of awkward because usually when you and I go to the movies,
we go together.
We go together
without our wives.
Correct. So it became a thing of who sits next to who.
Yeah. How does this work?
How does this?
I think we've actually been to more movies, just the two of us,
right,
than I've been to with just my wife in the last 6 months at least.
Oh, I can definitely
maybe even since the beginning of the year.
Right.
And I know
100% for myself that is true. I mean, I know we both have little ones at home. I have 3 little ones that, we can't go to the movies all the time. And so the last few months engaged in Tucker and the Beard go to the movies to see essentially bad movies.
I've been on more dates with Tucker than I have been on with my wife in the last 6 months.
Yes.
So it was nice to bring our lovely brides along. Right. I had a good time.
I could show, my wife, my significant other, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tucker is my work wife. So without further ado, what did we go see this week, Tucker?
We went and saw A Simple Favor.
And it was, to say the very least, interesting.
It was interesting, yes. I think that's a good way to put it. What day did we go see it?
We went and saw it on Saturday.
I was going to say Saturday. I think as more time goes on from when I saw it, the more I question if I liked it.
See, I'm still in the camp where I enjoyed the film for sure. I liked it. I didn't know exactly what to expect. I knew that there was going to be some twists and turns, and I think before we go even 1 second further, we need to let you know that there will be spoilers ahead. So if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the film and you're super interested in seeing the film,
turn away now.
You should shut this off and come back afterwards if you want to hear what our take is. But there were more twists in this film than a pair of headphones that have been shoved in my pocket for 3 days.
That's a lot of twists and turns.
That's a lot of twists.
Yes.
I would say I liked the film. And contrary to the normal films that we see, which are always poorly received, especially by critics, this one actually had a pretty good score going for it.
Okay.
I forgot to check this morning, but I want to say it was in like the high 60s, low 70s on Rotten Tomatoes, which
it's a little bit higher
30
than
to 40
normally.
points higher than the films that we've been seeing together. I liked it.
But there's a question mark at the end of that.
But there is a question mark. If you can't hear it in my voice, then I'm telling you right now, there was...
Right. It was... you're describing the twists and turns, but can you tell me right now that there was big twists and turns? Or was it maybe written in there that they were trying to be twists and turns?
Yeah, it was like somebody, whoever wrote and directed the film, which
it was Paul Feig of Ghostbusters fame.
Well, now I'm even more disappointed. But it was like he was a fan of M. Night Shyamalan movies, but also he was a fan of The Office.
Correct. Well, he did. Yes, he did have some previous history with The Office and writing and directing episodes.
Now it makes more sense.
You're welcome.
It actually makes more sense. Some of that kind of slightly contrived dark comedy that they tried to input into the film certainly shows up with his experience in The Office, because it kind of had that real dry, just slightly dark kind of quality to it. It was almost like they've seen all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films and how, like, I mean, Iron Man was an action film. It was a pure high octane action film that was funny.
Yes,
it had a lot of funny parts to it, and then they tried to shove that in there.
Right. Yeah. To me, there's not really any specific. I think this part I'm struggling with, they couldn't figure out the genre that they were going for.
Yeah.
Like, it was drama, thriller with quite a bit of comedy. I laughed numerous times throughout the film.
Absolutely.
And the film even ended on quite a comedic
It was probably
scale.
The funniest part of the movie was that little clip scene right at the end.
Right.
You know, as the movie's wrapping up.
Right. And there was a lot of funny, like, little one-liners and stuff, but I found myself getting really tired waiting for the big twist.
Yeah. So let's jump into, you know, a little synopsis of what the movie was.
Right.
You know, stars Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. And those are the only two people that even register on any kind of radar in the film.
Agreed.
As you know, one of them is kind of your I'll say quintessential busy single mom, and then the other one is kind of your not quintessential high-powered business mom, and you know, they develop somewhat of a friendship, which is obvious that somebody is being manipulative from the get-go, and next thing you know,
the business mom
disappears and leaves her kid with Anna Kendrick's character.
Right. She had called her up and said, "Hey, can you do me a simple favor and pick up my kid from school?"
Yet another movie that enters into the Hall of Fame of actually using its title in the dialogue, which I always, as soon as that happens, I go, dang it.
It's that little light bulb moment of, there it is.
This isn't going to be as good as I thought it was going to be.
Right.
And I had high hopes actually going into this one. It had received a lot of critical praise, and again, I don't think it was a bad movie.
No, I don't think it's a movie. I don't think it's a movie theater.
No, this was a Redbox movie.
Easily Redbox. To me, I would go rent it, you know, for $1.
Yeah,
and
I might even
watch
spring
it
for the extra $1 for the Blu-ray version.
Okay, you know, well, it depends on the special features, but all right.
You know, and then it turned into a weak ripoff of Gone Girl.
Very, very weak ripoff of Gone Girl, and then they seem to just go with the plain thriller, stereotype things that happen of, oh, she has a twin.
Oh, look at that! Yeah,
she happens to have
Blake
a twin.
Lively disappears, and she's presumed dead.
Yes, they find her body in a lake.
Yeah, and you know, and then Blake Lively's child runs into Blake Lively on the playground, and that starts setting some different events in motion and starts really becoming something of a quandary,
right?
To everybody.
Anna Kendrick, they had met, I don't know, what seemed like 2 days prior to her disappearance.
I think it was 5.
5 days.
Yeah, I think it was 5.
But then they became best friends.
Yeah, best friends,
because that's what you
days.
do in the whole Disney realm of, you know, you meet your significant other that day and
then you're married that weekend.
Right, exactly. This was hung out a couple times in a matter of 5 days, and they were best friends. And she led the charge in the
Blake
disappearance.
Lively is showing open contempt for Anna Kendrick's
oh,
character.
very much so.
The entire 5 days, you can tell that she thinks that this chick is obviously just she's a rube.
Right. Well, and there's numerous things that, as I kind of go back and look at it, that they've played throughout their friendship that serve absolutely no purpose to the overall movie.
No.
That it had shown that Anna Kendrick's character had fallen in love with her half-brother. And had a relationship with her half-brother. And you thought it was going to be this big reveal.
No, I mean, other than it just kind of divulged a potentially small character flaw in Anna Kendrick's character. I mean, really, that was the only thing that even played into. You know, the whole side plot of her having a relationship.
Yes.
And you know, we're using air quotes on the radio for that.
Yeah.
With her half brother. And then there being a question of the child's paternity being her now late husband or her half brother.
But it kind of dissolved.
Yeah,
in the
really didn't.
Third act of the movie, it kind of dissolved and went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, it really meant nothing to the overall story.
Other than the fact of her ending up having forming a relationship with Blake Lively's widowed husband.
Yeah. And we're talking, again, with the accelerated timeline of this film, I feel like it's important to mention within days.
Yeah, days, and they were moving
her disappearance and presumed death once they found her body floating in the lake.
It was time to move on.
It was time to move on. Like, listen, it's been 7-8 days. Yeah. Really, you should move on with your life.
You need to move on.
And she moved in with the husband into a significantly nicer home, you know, kind of her dream home.
Right. Which kind of plays up the fact of, did Anna Kendrick's character have something to do with the disappearance?
Yeah. I think the director wanted you to think that, but if you're even a half sentient human being, there's no way that you thought that was even
gonna happen.
Kind of part of the actual plot.
And then it's like, was it
wanted that?
Yeah, was it the husband? You quickly figured out.
No,
wasn't the husband.
That guy was not cool enough to murder anybody.
Because as soon as they set it up, they quickly answered it with the kid who saw his mom hanging outside the playground. So you're kind of like, well, then she faked her death.
And then, you know, big surprise.
She faked her death.
It's an insurance scam.
You're right.
You know, like, really? All right, I can pick up what you're putting down.
Right.
All right, now let's see how this is going to unravel even further. You meet the twin sister briefly through some flashbacks.
Right. Where they burn their house down and go on the run.
Yes. Yeah. Blake Lively's character has been on the run pretty much her entire life. Yeah. And yet somehow, with a fake identity, in our social media
centered world
culture that we have, somehow rose to be one of the most powerful people in a fashion design
company where they take a lot of pictures and
all the time, but never of her.
Never of her.
She gets real testy about people taking pictures of her.
Don't do it.
Don't
take pictures of her.
She goes from 0 to 100 pretty quick if you snap her photo.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, you know, going through it, it was kind of, I got really tired of just kind of waiting for some big plot twist.
Yeah.
And it never came. There was like small ones where it's like, oh, now it's a twin. Oh, now this is happening.
Yeah.
Oh, now this is okay.
And I feel a little bit deceived by that. You know, the way it was advertised was like, you'll never see what's coming. And I was like, wait.
Yeah.
I see it.
I saw it coming from a mile away.
Yeah. Like, maybe if you've never seen an M. Night Shyamalan movie,
right,
or any movie with a trick ending, you wouldn't have seen that coming.
I would have been very bewildered.
Yeah,
you know, by the ending and the plot twist in that movie, but I was not.
Yeah, and I'm also not 7 years old.
Right.
So, you know, those two factors combine, and I saw the plot twists coming miles away every single time. So,
within the first couple minutes of that movie, I could have.
I see how this ends.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you exactly. Although
we should have
talk about what's that?
We should have done and the next time we go see a movie that has a trick ending or is advertised with a trick ending, we should bring some 3x5 note cards and a pen
and just write down what we think the ending is.
And after 15 minutes into the movie, we should write down how we think it ends.
I agree.
And just so we can compare at the end of the film, see how that works out.
Right, but this movie was, I believe, your wife said it the best, that it was very Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it
just kept.
It could have ended 4 times,
at least 4 times.
I'd have been okay. I would have been okay if it ended any of those 4 times.
First ending, I would have been like, okay,
all right,
yeah, that was that
makes
movie.
Sense. There was a twist, and then it ended.
It just kept going.
But wait,
there's more.
There's more.
Yeah,
and it kept on giving, and it kept on giving, and
I asked for it to not give me any more.
I didn't want any more.
I was like, can you do me a simple favor and just end
and just go to credits? That would be amazing.
Just
and it had kind of an 80s 90s post credit description of what these people went on to do with their lives.
Yes. Well, I should point out real quick saying
Anna
that
Kendrick was a blogger.
Yeah.
Or a vlogger.
Very much so. Yes, exactly but she was make crafts and everything.
Yeah, she was one of those mom vloggers.
From the very beginning credits, it was like a 70s like TV show, like Mission Impossible kind of entrance. And there's so many movies that I watch that as soon as the credits go, I'm like, oh, I don't know what I got myself into.
Right.
When it's, 70s Hawaii Five-0 theme style.
Yeah.
I don't know which direction this is going to go. And you can tell a lot by a movie by the trailers before the movie.
Always.
I can't tell you one right now because they were that bad.
Yeah. And they were still probably the best part of the experience at the film.
Yeah. So it was, but kind of the ending was kind of humorous.
It was humorous because we got to see Blake Lively get hit out of nowhere by a Prius. And listen, I don't care who is standing in the middle of the road, but if somebody gets hit by a car, I'm going to laugh.
Right.
Almost every time. Even if it's supposed to be serious, I'm going to laugh every time. It's like at the end of Mean Girls.
Yeah, where she gets hit
by the bus. I laughed so hard at that part. Yeah, and anytime somebody gets hit by a moving vehicle in the street, I can't help myself.
So I'm gonna find you like standing on the street corner downtown, just pointing and laughing.
Now I can't say I would have that reaction if I witnessed it actually in person.
You do it later,
but like if I saw it replayed on the news,
right?
Probably.
Right.
I'm just a bad person, apparently.
Yeah. No, I got you.
I've made peace with it. So
no, I thought about today. I had somebody ask me what our mortality rate was by people getting hit by cars, jaywalking or something, and I was like, I
have no answer for that.
I have no answer.
This, I jaywalk daily.
Yeah.
And I've never been hit by a car.
Yeah. So, and if I was going to hit anybody with a car,
it would be me?
No,
wow.
No.
The truth comes out, ladies and gentlemen.
The end of the movie was very funny in a thriller, mind-puzzling movie, and I can't place what movie it makes me think of. You said it was very 90s, like, hey, so-and-so's, because I can't remember the character's name.
Went on to do this, and
she's
Anna Kendrick
really
got 1 million subscribers, and now she lives in the house
that was one thing that
the person who faked her death and then tried to kill her, and there was even the fake gunshot dude wearing a wire kind of scenario.
Ridiculousness
when they're trying to get Blake Lively to confess to her crimes,
right?
But
she was
expertly dodges those advances because she's way too smart.
Right. She
found the law for years.
Yeah, she found the microphones in the house, but no. Anna Kendrick was smart enough to pull out her button-sized camera hooked up to her vlog and
live streaming to her mommy vlog. Yeah,
live stream the whole entire thing of her fake shooting people and everything like that. But as Blake Lively still confesses to the murders
and the fraud,
all the bad stuff that she had done.
Yeah.
Then continues to go outside in the street and gets
hits by a Prius being driven by one of the live viewers of the Mommy Vlog who came to save Anna Kendrick.
Plot twist.
Holla.
That was giving Anna Kendrick a hard time.
He didn't really
not,
like her, but
right.
Secret
fan of the vlog.
He changed his mind, much like the Grinch, his heart grew 2 sizes that day.
You comparing the guy who hits Blake Lively with a Prius to the Grinch is personally my favorite. But yes, her getting hit by a Prius and then continuing to try to get away.
Yeah, I mean,
by crawling, having broken
whatever bones.
Majority of her
when
body
you get hit by a Prius.
Yes, and as they're telling her, they're like, just stop,
just stop, And also, here's a message to law enforcement agents who might be involved in a secret sting to try and get somebody to confess to murder and then use
YouTube Live.
Well, so they use the old blank in a blood pack thing, right? Old Hollywood trick. If you want the person to think that you've killed somebody, you should probably put the bullet hole over a vital area. Nobody dies from getting shot in the shoulder. This isn't 1875 Old West.
Right.
That's not going to get septic and kill a man anymore.
Have the blood splatter come from the forehead.
Or the chest.
Just a clean.
Just right. Listen, the heart is right. It's right here. Just on the left-hand side of the sternum.
I gotcha.
And
at least
place your shots better.
Blood colored.
Yeah, it was very Kool-Aid red.
Very Kool-Aid red.
As easily contrasted from when Anna Kendrick was shot just moments later.
No, he was shot moments later.
He was shot, and then she was shot. Because Blake Lively had a real gun.
Somebody was shot, and there was some real blood.
There was 2 shots. Two people got shot that day.
It's kind of like the...
And, of course, Anna Kendrick gets shot in the same exact place.
Of course.
As Blake Lively's ex-husband? Are they exes yet?
Well, she's not really dead.
She was proclaimed dead.
Right, but
I don't even know how that relationship works anymore.
No.
But they got shot in precisely the same spot.
Correct. Because that's what you do.
Because that's what you do. And the blood color was different. And somehow hubby goes down dead.
Right.
But Anna Kendrick has enough time to go on a... what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, when she goes off about them being best friends.
Yeah, being best friends, and then reveals that she's been live streaming this monologue. Right. Monologue is the word I'm looking for. She starts monologuing, and then she gets shot because that's what you do. Right. That's what happens when you monologue people.
Yeah, when you have a gun to you, just start monologuing.
Yeah, but also got shot in the shoulder. But she just kept talking.
Right, just kept going.
So obviously, hubby was weak.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, so she goes out and then gets run over by the Prius.
And then she gets hit by a Prius and goes to prison.
But loves...
She loves prison.
Loves prison in a very, I think you said it well, in a very 90s comedic...
Absolutely. I mean, she was running that place.
So-and-so is doing this now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just kind of, I think the credits rolled and we just kind of looked at each other and shrugged. I'm not really sure what to do with that.
At the end of the film, was glad that I got to spend time with my wife and my dear friends.
Right.
Away from our children.
Agreed.
But also wishing that I would have spent that time with my wife and my dear friends away from our children doing something else.
I was going to say doing something else or seeing a different...
Any other movie. I would have rather have seen a children's movie without my children than...
Oh, I would definitely have been there.
Yeah, we should have went and saw Smallfoot.
Yeah, without the kids. Because it's always a good idea to watch kids movies without kids because... I don't know about yours,
make them jealous. Put them in their place a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And just be like, when I have time.
What we did.
I have time.
Yeah, you didn't.
We'll go see that one. Let me ruin this movie for you since you want to...
Spoil that.
Yeah.
So we've developed a bit of a rating system for films for going forward. And the rating system is going to go like this. The highest rating you can possibly get is go see it. The next step down is rent it. So wait for it on Redbox, pay $1 or $2.
Correct.
Stream it. So wait for it to hit Netflix.
Right.
And then skip it altogether. Don't even waste your time. And I think this one it's a stream it and a half. It could go either way.
I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't have minded had I rented the movie.
Correct. I wouldn't be angry at all if I had, if my wife had come home after renting it and I'd sat there and watched it. Yeah. I couldn't be mad at that.
I probably could have left my phone in the other room and watched that movie at home.
Right. So it would be a low rent, high stream.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a stream and a half.
I'd be like, okay.
Stream and a half.
Yeah.
That's what I would give it.
Right.
I wouldn't be upset if I rented it. I would have been totally happy with it had I streamed it, but I probably would have been checking Facebook a lot during the movie.
Right. Checking out every once in a while, but then still checking back in and knowing exactly what's going on because no plot twists were happening.
And the plot twists that were there were so easily trackable and contrived.
Just so subtle.
Yeah. Overall, not a bad movie.
No.
Way better than things we've seen. It wasn't Happy Time Murders, that's for sure.
No. Yeah.
It was not. But not a hard... Definitely don't spend... If you haven't already, don't pay the $8 to go watch it in the theaters. It'll be in Redbox before Christmas, so check it out then.
Yeah, it'll be coming out soon in the Redbox.
Yeah.
So, and our job is to watch bad movies
so you don't have to. Absolutely. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for listening and watching if you're watching. Thank you. And we hope to see you next time. This is going to be up on the Prescott E-News site as a podcast, and it'll also be up on Facebook as videos coming very, very soon. So again, thank you so much for all of your support. We really, really do appreciate it. And if there's a movie that's coming up that you would like us to go see, let us know. Yeah. Drop it in the comments, and we are happy to take that under consideration. I can tell you this right now. Next week's episode will be Venom. Venom is fighting a pretty hard battle between moviegoers and critics on Rotten Tomatoes right now. So I was gonna go see it anyway.
Right. I was saying we were gonna go see it anyways. I'm just anxious to find that line because critics hate it, which is what we kind of base.
Yeah, but the audiences love it. So stay tuned for that coming up next week. And I think we're out of it. He's Tucker.
He's Beard.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.